They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, it might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McDonald. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's a 1st down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, McDonald. He gets it to Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in there.
Touchdown, Saints! From 10 yards out. And the Saints continue to pull away here in this first half. The point after is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
That one complete out to Dotson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down. Malone flush to his right. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Taken from just outside the 30. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game. and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what pressure. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that will set him up in excellent shape. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And his kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had him set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On second down, here's Gibson again. They find some open field here. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point safely through. And the lead is down to 24. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with. And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Looking to throw. Malone forced out to his left. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. McDonald. He's going to look deep down the field. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Malone. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
They'll elect to bring it out here for the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And this is going to be a Commanders first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Malone. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Off play action. Malone slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. 61 yards. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance. The passing game's off balance.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders get a bit closer.
To try here for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
He was tackled at the 27 yard line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
To throw on 3rd down, McDonald. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On 1st down, Malone. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 107 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Throwing on 1st down, Malone.
That's over the middle and caught by Aiyuk.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Malone.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Gibson is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
Operating from the gun. Malone. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Nice move, but got him nowhere. Still backed up. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Again, it's Kamara. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Let's take it inside his own 40.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Malone. And now here is another interception. The 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Malone. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
Oh, look at the juke.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave